I I sit out back with my wife sometime and we just talk and we fellowship together. And sometimes it's days where there's gnats out there and we're fighting them off, and it seems like we can't get rid of them. They're just always around. Sometimes there's flies, and it seems like it just, for me, it's the buzzing getting close to my ear that is very irritating to me, and it's so irritating that it can just offset my moment, and I just get in the house to get rid of it, to get rid of the sound, to get rid of just the irritation. And it's like that with the gnats, it's like that with mosquitoes. But through that, I realize that, like the mosquitoes and the flies and the gnats are irritant to me to the point where it causes me to move, God is looking for the same through us, not in a negative standpoint, but because of the confidence, the trust that we have in Him, that we're not going to let this thing go. Sort of like wrestling with God, and I'm not going to let you go until you bless me mentality. When you talk about prayer, you need to have that kind of mentality, that when it comes to being healed, being delivered, being set free, when it comes to restoration in my family, when it comes to the salvation of people, when it comes to anything that I'm laying at the altar of God, laying at the feet of Jesus, I am not going to let go until I have that thing, until that thing is released upon my life. I am not going to be moved. I am persuaded that if I go to God, that He's going to answer, He is going to deliver, He is going to heal, He is going to set free. But we have to be like the fly, like the mosquito, like the gnat. Wow. I'm going to share something with you in the book of Luke, chapter number 11, starting at verse number 5. And I truly believe it's going to bless you, because it truly blessed me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read from the Amplified Version. Luke chapter 11, verse 5 through 10. And I ask you all to stay with me as we endeavor to bring glory to the living God. Now, Jesus had just taught His disciples how to pray in the verses before. And after He taught them how to pray, He began to speak to them further. Something interesting here. Look at verse number 5. And He said to them, which of you who has a friend will go to him at midnight and say to him, friend, lend me 3 loaves of bread? For a friend of mine who is on a journey has just come, and I have nothing to put before him. And he from within will answer, do not disturb me. The door is now closed, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and supply you with anything. I tell you, although he will not get up and supply him anything because he is a friend, yet because of his shameless persistence and insistence, he will get up and give him as much as he needs. Wow. Verse 9, so I say to you, ask and keep asking, and it shall be given. Seek and keep on seeking, and ye shall find. Knock and keep on knocking, and the door shall be open to you. For if anyone who asks and keeps on asking receives, And the one who seeks and keeps on seeking finds. The door shall be open. So when it's talking about persistence, it's interesting that he says the guy won't give to you simply because you're his friend, right? He may deny you access even though you're close to him. He may say, no, tonight's not a good night, even though you're besties, even though he trusts you, even though you trust him. He will give to you because you're persistent and insistent. I insist. And you won't let it go. See, in prayer, we got to be persistent and insist. If we ask and we keep asking, if we knock and we keep knocking, if we seek and we keep seeking, the door shall be open. Do we hear that? See, but a lot of us feel like we don't want to bother God. We don't want to bombard God. We just want to say it once and let that be that, because we think that if we exhibit true faith, we only got to say it one time. That if we go back and say it again, it's not having faith. No, that ain't. If I keep going to God, that is faith, because I believe that God will answer me. But if Jesus is telling us to be persistent here, it's written in red if you go to the King James Version. If he is telling us to be persistent, then we got to be persistent. We got to go to him and keep going to him. We got to ask and keep on asking. We got to be that fly. We got to be that mosquito. We got to be that gnat that even though I fan you off, you coming right back. I hear you in my ear, but I'm gonna try to get rid of you. But you're going to come right back, and you're going to come back, and you're going to be persistent, and you're going to insist so much that I am going to answer you, not because of who you are to me, but because you're being persistent. I'm not going to answer you because you're my daughter. I'm not going to answer you because you're my son. I'm not going to answer you because you're righteous before me. I'm going to answer you because you're being persistent and you're insisting. Just like the fly, just like the mosquito, just like the gnat. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you're lacking. I don't care what you're up against. I don't care what the doctor said. I don't care what the judge has said. I don't care what you're up against. I don't care what shape your marriage is in, what shape your children is in. I don't care what it is that you're facing. When it comes to your prayer life, become the fly, become the mosquito, become the gnat. And Lord, I'm going to be persistent, and I am going to insist that you move. And I won't let this thing go until you bless me.